So, here I am, mask on. Can you hear me? No? You can't? Let me take this. Can't breathe in this shit. I came to time travel and drink Corona, and as you can see, I'm all out of Corona. So, let's get on to it. He didn't delete the other one that I liked. It was a pretty good one. Got the notes ready to go. Welcome to Time Travel Investigation Part 13. I'm your host, Eric Carthage 2020. 2023 is in jeopardy at the moment. So, one thing that got leaked, obviously, is now a threat. So now we have to worry about, bioweapons. And luckily, a lot of people are savvy to this stuff. And we're going to get through this however we can. Live from New York City, y'all. So, we're going to start with dated music. I'm going to start with some simple shit. Dated music and film tech, etc. So, a certain amount of music and films are, they're dated. You can see what year they're from. You see this type of era, you see that era of that tech, and so on and so forth. What happens is... What happens is when you listen to I was playing with this stuff when I was doing music, and it's like you can find like your music would be dated to the 90s or dated to the 2000s or dated to the 2010s and so on and so forth. Like, oh, this sounds like this the music from this era, you know what I mean? And that's how you do that. Back to the Future. So what happened with Back to the Future that I'm getting now is that movie. Pardon me. Is he was moving through air. So you would say in the electrified air, moving at a rate of 96 to 98 miles per hour. That's like your temperature, right? So obviously you might be able to go through time if you modify the flux thing just right. There's light and there's dark matter. Still the same argument, same argument. We don't know which one is going faster than light, and we don't know which one is manipulated to go faster than light and make somebody time travel just because it goes faster than light. We don't even know if in order to time travel, you have to still go faster than light. It's hard stuff to deal with. Alright, so we get to the 2028 narrative or conspiracy. You ready for this shit? Okay. Now, so there's a lot of people that have watched the Apex TV videos and think the whole thing is a complete hoax. They think it's a hoax. And they think it's like, they think the whole thing is fake. Like, these guys never time traveled, but here's what they're afraid to acknowledge, This is what they're afraid to acknowledge. Because, see, listen, I honestly believe the whole story. At the same time, I have this thing in the back of my head that's thinking, anybody could run a time travel scam. I mean, anybody could run a time travel scam. It's doable, You can do it. You can keep talking about you're from a different year, and people will start believing you, and they get to that year, and there's no proof for that time travel. Luckily, it's like I always wanted proof of my time travel. At the same time, I don't want that proof really to fuck people up. You know what I mean? It's that simple. So I'm looking this up, and I'm like, all right, so how would you make out of this, 2028 narrative? I'll put it this way. It starts with Noah, but then there's other people that time travel that say that 2028 is going to be the day where time travel is revealed to the public, extraterrestrials are revealed to the public, and the granddaughter of somebody important ascends to the the United States throne, pretty much. Now, not gonna mention the name yet, but I will in the middle of this eventually. Point is, it's like those all the predictions of Noah and all the predictions of all these 2028ers, I call them, they sound really good, including McIntosh. I'm gonna mention him. I'm gonna mention him. He might just be the president to release time travel to the public in 2028. Whatever, right? I believe him, but still, it's like, this could easily have been just paradox just by us knowing about it. I know about how that game works, and it's messed up. At the same time, it's like, if we get the heads up about something like this, it might just be inevitable. So watch out for that. Some of these guys are not of the same narrative. Some of them don't. Like, you got Michael Phillips. Listen, I've always been a part. I've always was aware of Zeta Tech, where it's like they got the spaceship, or they got the microchip, or what have you, and they're going wild with this stuff. Like, there's so many different ways they can time travel that we still haven't even discovered yet. Maybe Yolanda is in on this. You gotta think about this kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Like, maybe this is something that her father is like calling Apex TV. Like, yeah, let's get these time travelers to talk about my daughter. You know what I'm saying? She's gonna be president. You know what I mean? I highly doubt that's the case, or else either this whole thing would have been shut down, or worse. I'm gonna just say worse. You know what I mean? Worse. They'll be looking for Noah a lot harder. You know what I'm talking about? So it's like, you never know with this kind of stuff. You never know. Like, all these things that happen in the future are changeable, and some of them are boulders, like Michael Phillips said. Come to find out, Home Slice is active. He was active for a little while. Home Slice is active. You know what I mean? And then we have paradoxing scenarios where, McIntosh could get in, but if somebody paradoxes him just enough, nothing ever happens. If he gets way too much information, probably nothing ever happens. But then again, if he's orchestrating this in his head, something is probably happening. And then you have that scenario of people in the future still making sure that things in the past happen the way they were. Or better. You can make adjustments. It's doable. It's just something I believe. But that's my theory. That's my theory. I don't know. Like, we can play the McIntosh theory, but he seems like he's been playing this forever. When you really look at him, when you really think about who could possibly do this, start revealing the time travel to the. He looks like he could pull it off. At the same time, maybe he doesn't. You never know. All I know is the reason why I believe him is because I'm on the same shit. And I have an idea how they could pull it off and how I could pull it off. And if they're real, I'm probably real too. And then if I'm not real, hey, they probably realer. Whatever. More power to them. I'll stay in the background. Feel me? At the same time, it's like, hey, if I do a 2023 bid, hopefully somebody's really trying to reveal this shit to the public. Because time travel and extraterrestrials should be revealed to the public. Alright. So, that's exactly what that happens. So, we have natural disasters and apocalypse issues. Main number one, we're going back to the global warming thing. And in one of my timelines, there's this bioweapons war. It turns ugly when they add some radiation to it, but obviously this is stuff that we would love to prevent. Nobody wants to see that shit, right? That's where you have time travel and prevention. You can prevent certain stuff with time travel, and there's some things you can't prevent. That's the problem. So those are the boulders in time. You can adjust them, or you can give people just enough of a heads up where they survive in the future. All right? That's what I figured out. All right? I've been investigating. The 2040s to the 2050s, I believe there's going to be a big, high thing of AI going on in those years. All right, for about a good 20 years, the AIs are going to, it's not that they're going to take over, it's more like we're going to really accept them where we trust them that much, you know what I mean? And they trust us. That's another thing. So whenever you reverse engineer something, almost done. I'm almost done. Almost done. Whenever you reverse engineer something, always remember that's like, I'm Eric Carthage, 2020. Listen, the Romans reversed boats. Next thing you know, they got a whole freaking thing going. You know what I mean? It's a whole little thing going. Different things can happen when you reverse engineer something. You either make it better, you make it worse, or you make it almost as good as the other version, but the problem is it's not as good as the old version. You know, the original is always going to be the original. Always remember that. But if you add to it and make it stronger, guess what? You got one hell of a time machine, or one hell of different types of time machines. Quantum computing only doubles that. It quantumizes things, you know? It not only goes from one parallel universe to the next, it doubles up. You know what I mean? It expands the universe almost. You know, it's some deep shit, but it's just electricity, basically. It's just, you know, a way of computers being able to work on double time and be a lot faster, a lot smarter, and a lot more beneficial if you do it right. Yeah, so we got, damn, I'm mentioning, am I really gonna go there? Let me see. Yeah, I'm gonna save that for the next one. We got, Greta and Baron, you know what I mean, on deck. So I'm just gonna end y'all off with a little something for the homies alike, you know. Oh, well, fuck it. Listen, I'm out. I ain't gonna play no music. Make sure you cop some some Coronas, whatever you're going through. It's a tough time, but listen, there's so many different ways to survive this, you have no idea. I suggest you listen to Bioweapons Infecting. I'm going to put that in the link below. Alright, peace, I'm out. See you in 2028 though.